From the City of Angels, you are listening to the James Salazar Media Podcast. On today's episode, headlines from the world of futurism. So let me strike the music, and I'll meet you on the other side.
Engage.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for
It's one
your country.
small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Say hello to my little friend.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
And welcome to the James Salazar Media Podcast, where you get your weekly dose of pop culture, politics, and futurism. I am the formerly mentioned James Salazar, aka the media, the real media. So what's new, everyone? Welcome to the new James Salazar Media Podcast. I have my official setup with my Sony SMXB, my little Samsung stand, my Rodecaster Pro, and some headphones. Let me see. What do I got here? One Audio Studio DJ headphones. So, yeah. Bitches, today we're going to get into some headlines from the world of futurism. Oh, shit. That's our robot overlords who in the future will take us. You have anything to say, robot overlords?
Citizens of the earth, you will be destroyed.
Wait a minute, hold on. You need to relax there, homie. I'm going to get Chewbacca on my side. Stupid stuff.
I am a robot.
I'll try not to be. Oh, that scared the shit out of me. That is debatable. Get into some headlines through the world of futurism. I want to talk a little bit about politics. Seems like it's been almost a month since you talked to me last, and I did my last podcast on the political spectrum. And I got some feedback. People liked it. People thought it was too opinionated. Whatever. I don't care. I don't care. That's what I felt about it. The only people think it's funny. I'm having a ball with this thing. You're probably annoyed by it by now. But do the robot overlords think it's funny? You lie. Okay, I digress. So it looks like that Seattle, whatever, Chadville is gone now. The police was eventually going to have to step in and take it away. I don't know what they thought was going to happen. Some people were shocked by it. You know what's stupid about this place? This was set up to have a society that wouldn't have to deal with the society that we have of police force and all the things that they feel are systematic racism. The first thing they did is they built a wall, and they monitored who went through that wall. They created their own police force. And then citizens were able to walk around with rifles, or what they would call assault rifles. So they basically created their own little city and turned it into Texas. So 2 people got killed in there. So good one. Did a great job. Banged up job. Maybe you deserve an applause. But no. You're idiots. And you just prove everybody right. You know, cops are needed. It's strange. It's just strange how people think. You know what? I'm very upset at myself. And let me tell you why I'm upset at myself. Because I knew people were going to die. I knew it. And I said, that's a very fallacious thing to say. That a lot of people are going to die once the cops pull out. And I should have said it because I was 120% right. And I'm upset that I didn't have the courage to say it. When the cops started to pull out and not be so such a presence in Chicago and New York. We have about 300 shootings within 3 weeks. Almost 30 people murdered. Just for what I know, about 5 of them were children. So, yeah, the idea that if you take out the cops, things will be better, that's a special kind of stupid. And no one should listen to anybody who says that again. Just saying. Just saying. This is all what our robot overlords want. They want to control us. And the more we seem out of control, the more society, the government, will want to take control and put their thumb upon us. Yeah, but that's for another talk. Right? Robot overlords. You shut up. Don't you start that shit again. I don't think it's funny at all. So let's head into headline from the world of futurism. NASA is asking to come up with a lunar dustbuster. NASA is asking university students to come up with a solution to a very real problem. Sticky lunar dust that can get pretty much everywhere, meaning it poses a very real threat to anybody planning to spend much time on the surface of the moon. The goal is a solution that can remove lunar dust and make surfaces impermeable to the stuff. Okay. The competition gives students an unparalleled opportunity as a member of the Artemis generation to help overcome historically challenging technical obstacles of mitigating lunar dust. Since the Apollo missions, we have known that lunar dust is extremely clingy. Early NASA astronauts ended their spacewalks on the moon covered with the stuff, likely caused by electric charge built up by the moving around the lunar surface. The more time you spend, the more time you get covered from helmet to boot with lunar dust, says Buzz Aldrin. He also said, one of our greatest inhibitors to normal operations on the moon. So come up with it and you will be famous if you can find some kind of material that will keep lunar dust off the astronauts. Good luck, my friends. In other NASA news, NASA is using a robot to search for leaks outside the space station. NASA and Canadian space agencies scientists were just able to automate one of the most dangerous jobs at the International Space Station, sending a robot out on a spacewalk so humans don't need to put themselves at risk. Dextra, a CSA robot that looks like a multi-armed tower sticking to the side of the space station, recently checked outside of the ISS for signs of leaks, especially looking for pneumonia that the space station uses as coolant, according to the NASA press release. And now, with newly installed Robot Hotel, it is far easier for the robot to do the job and keep the dangerous work out of humans' hands. So, yeah, take that, robot overlords. Take that. We are using you. What do you think of that?
Citizens of the Earth.
You shut up.
I am a robot.
No shit. In transportation news, Uber drivers are suing to learn how the company's algorithms work. Uber drivers in the UK are suing the company in a desperate bid to learn more about the ride-hailing app algorithm, which governs their lives and incomes. The core argument of the lawsuit is that the company's decision to withhold personal data about the drivers prevents them from understanding how the algorithm assigns them jobs and therefore impacts their livelihood. If it works, it could be a major win for the gig my contractor trying to assist control over their work. This could be a major win for gig Ecno. I guess that's the company. What else to say? The driver app and courier union, which is suing Uber on the behalf of the drivers, arguing that Uber violates the GDPR when it tracks tracks and monitors drivers by gathering data like late arrivals, cancellation records, and passenger complaints, according to BI. Because the drivers can't access the data, they aren't told how to feed into the algorithm that decides their future ride assignments. The union claims that Uber is violating their digital privacy. I get it. When things are going bad and you're not getting a lot of rides, you tend to wonder if Uber's doing something underhanded, because you should be getting a certain amount of rides that you are certainly used to. And then suddenly that number of rides that you thought you were normally getting are less. And people tend to think of nefarious reasons as opposed to maybe it might be the economy, it might be you're not in the right areas anymore. Sometimes areas die. Sometimes for like 2 years, this one area would be very profitable, and then the next year it's not, because maybe some club down the street, or maybe like a couple clubs opened up down the streets, and you're now far away from the action. So, but I don't know if they're going to win this. Obviously, it's very worrisome when you give in to union demands. And when you are an independent contractor, unions do not like independent contractors, and they're there to make you an hourly payment. And you lose all the flexibility and freedom of why people use Uber as a source of income in the first place. Now, there's some pros. Obviously, you get some. The pros is, well, the stated pro is that my mind's going blank. Is that they're gonna have a living wage, and that you probably would get compensated for your car, and that's all nice and grand. But Uber doesn't have to agree to that. They would just fall back on their riders, seniority of riders, people who've been there for a long time, and just kick loose all the new people, and just tell the old drivers, you're gonna have to, if you want to have this job, you're gonna have to work 8 to 10 hours on the days that we want and the times we want, or we all have to first come, first serve on the days and times you can work. And they might make still a profit, but if Uber feels like they're not going to no longer make a profit that is worth working in Los Angeles, this is in England or in Europe, to be more exact, they'll just pull out of that city if it's not worth it for them. Just like any other company. This $25,000 gadget can steal almost any car that has a key fob. It's styling like a Nintendo Game Boy, but you won't be able to play Super Mario Land on it. Instead, this $25,000 device is designed to emulate the signals from a whole host of car makers' key fobs. In other words, driver report, it is a skeleton key. A devious gadget that lets you steal almost any modern car. The SOS key tool is being sold by SOS Auto Key in Bulgaria, company that claims that it doesn't want to break the law, according to the Drive magazine, but potential owners won't have to go through the background checks either. So we're sure that everything they do is perfectly legit. All right, people. That sucks. So there's a device out there. So how do you stop that? I do not know. Elon Musk brags that Tesla is very close to a full level 5 self-driving. For years, we have been promised a near future in which cars drive themselves as well as human motorists, while their occupants scroll through Twitter and browse internet in their cozy cabin with comfy seats. The dream formerly known as level 5 autonomy is probably still many years out, but Tesla CEO Elon Musk believes it could be right around the corner. Yeah. Soon as the data comes in, and I've said this before, as soon as the data comes in that robots are safer than humans, especially if you live in a left-centered state, run by liberals, they're going to take your cars away and make you drive electric cars. And they'll do it for your own good. And that's what liberals do. They basically punish you with approval of their conscience, taking away your freedoms. Cars are the last vestige of freedom in America that is outside what you see in the Constitution. Cars were always meant to, just like horses, go wherever you want to go off the beaten trail. But, some people just want you to go into certain areas and be controlled as a society. And I believe in, what do you call it, public transportation, as long as it's efficient and it can pay for itself. So I might digress and say I don't believe it because that's never happened. But I'm hopeful with the concept. But once they see that data that more people are alive at the end of the year from car crashes because of automated vehicles, places like Burbank, Santa Monica, downtown LA, they won't let you drive in there no more. You either have to have something on your car that once you hit a certain line in the sand in the city that it takes over automation. If you live in LA, it's like when you hit the 710 going into LA from the San Gabriel Valley, once you hit the 710, the car automatically goes into self-driving mode if you're going to drive in Los Angeles downtown. So that's what I think is going to happen. And that's as soon as they can get to this level 5 driving, which I think they're going to get in the next 5 years. 5 years from there, you won't be able to drive in major cities while you're behind the wheel. You can be behind the wheel, but you can't touch the wheel. You can't touch the steering wheel. And so 10 years maybe before, if I want to go down and go eat some Mexican tacos on Fifth Street, I'll have to give up my car once I pass a certain line in the sand. So that's interesting. Now let's get into some artificial intelligence. You relax. AI now predicts which planets are going to smash into each other. A team of NASA's astrophysicists have put the fates of the entire star system in the hands of an AI algorithm. The system, Double Spock, by NASA and Princeton University astrophysicist Daniel Tamio doesn't actually decide which worlds will live or die, of course, but it can predict the paths of exoplanets and determine which ones will remain stable and which ones will crash into other worlds or stars far more accurately and at greater scale than humans ever could. So they will know which ones are going to eventually die. And cops arrest an innocent man because of facial recognition told them to. For the first time, police facial recognition AI algorithm has led to the wrongful arrest after misidentifying a innocent man as a criminal. Oh, you evil robot. That is nothing to laugh about. Robot Julian Julian Borok Williams was arrested in January after a Detroit police, so this is Detroit, so what did I tell you, told him to turn himself in. When Williams got to the station, he was arrested because a facial recognition AI had determined that he was the person seen in a surveillance surveillance footage of 2018 shoplifting. It was clear mismatch, but Williams still had to spend 30 hours in prison because of the over-reliance on a flawed AI. Take that, AI. Your ass is flawed. What do you say about that, Julie? Okay, so it's not perfect yet. We still should keep from trying to get these people. Let's go to the next one. Telling Siri all lives matter brings up blacklivesmatter.com. Well, let's see if this happens right now. Let me get my phone. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on.
I am a robot.
You just hold on right there. I need to get my phone. Okay? I'm gonna let you hold on. I can't find my phone. No, I know my soul's attached to my phone. I don't need to hear this from you right now. All right, I have it here. Let's see. Hey Siri, all lives matter.
All lives matter is often used in response to the phrase Black Lives Matter, but it does not represent the same concerns. To learn more about the Black Lives Matter human rights movement, visit blacklivesmatter.com.
Well, there you go. This is not fake news. This is true news, and you heard it here. I don't know first, but you heard it here now. Air Force pilots are about to do battle with autonomous drones. U.S. military is planning to put its combat drones to the ultimate test, a skirmish against human fighter pilots. Lieutenant General Jack Shanahan, who is the head of the Pentagon's Joint Artificial Intelligence Center, told the BBC that the military is interested in measuring the capabilities of AI-driven aircraft against human pilots. While the plan isn't to replace human crew members, sure, like we believe that, yet pitting two against the other is a good way to gauge how far AI has come. They will adapt. We cannot do this. We should not get them better. The AIs, by definition, learn. And now we're going to teach them how to beat humans in dogfights in the air. You shut up. Yeah. This is where we don't want AI to be implemented. And I know, here's the pros. The pros is that when there is a war, if the majority of our airplanes are not human run, doesn't matter how many are shot down, there's no human life expired. And for United States of America, the human toll of war will be much less than everyone else, which might take the steam of people finding us in the first place. If they can't hurt us, if they can't see us bleed, do they really want to fight and get killed so easily? It might just take the fun out of it. Some war gives people purpose. It will, if a terrorist knows that whatever they do, they're not going to hurt an American, but they're going to just jack up one of our robots where we just bring them back in and fix them up, which will add to our economy. It might not motivate them to fight us anymore. It might take out the joy of revenge. If we start to train artificial intelligence how to outmaneuver, our only chances if AI does turn on us is the human ability to outfight the robot. And with fighter pilots and we're slowly creating a overlord. If it happens, I don't know if it's going to happen. The probabilities go back and forth, and when you talk to different experts, they say that it's inevitable. Some people were going to be a marriage of the two, and some think we should just focus on enhancing ourselves through genetics. But if it does come true, we made all the wrong moves by teaching it how to. Have you seen Boston Dynamics robots? If you have not, you need to go to online and put down Boston Dynamics robots, and you'll see a freaking robot doing flips and jumps and rolls and landing on his feet. And all you have to do is put a knife on that fucker, and he's shanking everybody in the room, and you ain't gonna do nothing about it. Now we're teaching him how to beat us in our planes. So, yeah, doesn't sound good to me. I mean, and some people might say, hey, this is never going to happen. And they might be right. But if we're wrong, we fucked ourselves.
Citizens of the Earth, you will be destroyed.
Earth scientists, climate change will get so hot your organs will shut down. In the coming years, climate change will heat some part of the world so much that merely working outdoors could be life-threatening. New models suggest unless greenhouse gases are rein in, millions of people, especially in developing nations, will be exposed to dangerous levels of heat that could cause heat stress and dangerous conditions that will cause your organs to shut down. And with working place fans shut off and heavier protective garments due to the pandemic, even more people are likely to be affected. Unfortunately, switching on your air conditioner to get some relief already not an option for many developing nations is only going to make things worse, according to the UN report. That sucks. I mean, I know if you go to the Mojave Desert right now and you try to spend a day out there without water, you're definitely your your organs will shut down. So this is nothing new. It just they're saying we're gonna see this in more developing nations, more parts of the developing nation. So we'll just wait and see. I'll reserve my comment whether I think it's going to happen or not. It may or may not happen, but I wouldn't bet on it. I'll bet on that there's going to be climate change, whether it's going to be so hot in places that weren't normally hot, so hot that organs fail, that the North Pole is going to turn like a Sahara Desert, or places like Los Angeles will get like 130 degrees heat like it does in the Mojave Desert. I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it. Not climate change. I think probably there is climate change. I don't know to what condition that it really works in. I don't think many people do know themselves. It's more like we'll see. We'll just see. What else we have? Scientists discovered a Vanta black deep sea creature. This thing looks ugly. Team of marine biologists discovered 16 new species, terrifying deep sea fish that reflect almost no light at all, much like the ultra black material Vanta black. Marine biologist Karen Osborne was astonished when she attempted to take a picture of the picture of the fangtooth, a terrifying fang monster of the deep sea. For the fish appeared to absorb almost all the light her underwater studio stone at it, leaving only an eerie silhouette. You see a picture? That's pretty creepy. Good to know. We're always finding new shit in the ocean. Because of the pressures of the ocean, it is more likely we'll be able to discover more things in space than the deepest part of our oceans, because we don't have anything that can handle those pressures. Climate change threatens 60% of the world's fish species. As long as they don't take out shrimp and lobster or crab, new research suggests that climate change threatens to wipe out significantly more species of fish than previously thought. If average global temperatures raise by 5 degrees Celsius, that will be a global warming nightmare scenario. And the New Scientist report 60% of all the fish could go extinct by the year 21,000. What are we? We're 2020, so 80 years. It's grim news, and previous studies predict the fish would be far more resilient. We don't know. That's something we're also going to have to wait and see. This is interesting. There's pink snow in Europe. That could be bad, scientists said. That could be bad, or is it bad? If you were to trek up to the Italian Alps right now, you will find a boot covered in a bizarre pink snow. While it is beautiful touch that turns the mountaintop into an alien landscape, Earth reports that the pink snow is actually it's a pretty bad sign. The pink colors come from the blooming algae, and while the full extent of the impact of the environment is poorly understood, it could speed up the rate in which snow melts away. Okay. It's not so much that the algae is melting the snow itself, but rather turning the snow into pink strawberry snow, as it's sometimes called, makes it absorb more heat from the sunlight, which causes it to melt sooner. All right, so rising tides. Let's see if that happens. I mean, this should happen pretty quick, right? When the sun starts heating that, we should, in the next 3 years, the most sea waters rise in Italy from these from this pink ice melting quicker. This is just interesting. I've been hearing the rumblings of this, and let me just read it. A Godzilla dust cloud from the Sahara Desert is hitting the United States right now after wreaking havoc on the air quality reading in the Caribbean. Dust from the Sahara Desert just arrived at the U.S. Gulf Coast forming what experts refer to as a Godzilla dust cloud. It is so large it can easily be seen and tracked from space. This is the most significant event in the past 50 years, says Pablo Mendez Lazario, an environmental health specialist with the University of Puerto Rico. Conditions are dangerous in many Caribbean islands. An ongoing Sahara dust outbreak across the tropic Atlantic is by far the most extreme since records of global dust began in 2020. Atmospheric scientist Larry Lauer tweets on Wednesday. So, dust from the Sahara makes its way across the Atlantic on a yearly basis, but rarely on the scale. Rarely on the scale. I didn't know this, so this is news to me. The phenomenon is called Sahara air layer, and it typically ramps up in mid-June and peaks in late June or mid-August, according to the recent write-ups of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. This layer can travel and impact locations thousands of miles away from Africa's origin. The NOAA wrote, it also plays an important ecological role, such as fertilizing soils in the Amazon and building beaches in the Caribbean. Other negative effects from the dust can include worsening allergies. According to the NPR, the dust may even complicate matters of COVID-19 patients. Yeah, it's a respiratory disease, so this could possibly happen. So that's like plague-like, right? Shut down economy, disease. Now a respiratory virus, and now there's a storm cloud of sand coming. Man, this is like a movie. This is like one of those disaster movies, right? We got rioting and looting already. Stay strong, people. Stay strong. Okay, let's get into human advancement. Elon Musk, Neuralink will do human brain implants in less than 1 year. He says this on the Joe Rogan Experience. He's just rehashing that. He says it's 1 year away, but that's not in a COVID situation. So maybe a year and a half. But he'll be able. They're going to open up somebody's head and put some links in there and see if they can control stuff with it. So that's interesting. Scientists debut a system that translates thoughts directly into text. Researchers say that they will build systems that can translate brain signals directly to text, promising a step forward in speech paralysis that could effectively allow you to think text directly into computers. We are not there yet, University of California researcher Joseph Macon. But we think that this could be the basis of speech. We'll see what happens. I hate texting with my fingers. It's so antiquated. My mind is already ready. My mind's already ready. It's already ready for it not to text anymore. Use my fingers. Listeners synchronize their brain activities with musicians. According to research in Chinese neuroscientists, the Chinese are getting crazy. Something extraordinary happens during the music performance. The brain activity of listeners appear to sync up with the brain activities of the musician playing the music for them. Yes, anyone who ever seen an awesome concert now has confirmation. Musicians and crowds are really connected at a neurological level. Well, that's good to know, since I'm a musician. I'm an opera singer. Part-time rocker. Yeah. I have no reason to doubt it. Scientists said that new nanomaterial could replace human tissue. European researchers said they invented a rubbery nanomaterial that seamlessly integrates with human body, which could pave the way for everyone with new constructive surgeries to extreme body modification. We were really surprised that the material turned out to be very soft, flexible, and extremely elastic. One of the researchers behind the new material and the press release that they claimed that the material could replace human tissue. The non-toxic material described in depth by scientists in Sweden is made of the same stuff as plexiglass. The researchers set out to create a bone replacement material, but found that by manipulating it just right at the nano scale, that's billionth of a meter, it took on a rubbery texture that they believe could replace cartilage and every other joint to a prosthetic nose. So there are many diseases that where the cartilage breaks down and friction results between bone causes great pain of the affected people. This material could potentially act as a replacement in those cases. So that's the shit. This is for burn victims and people who have skin diseases. This works. Let's go. Let's get this stuff done. I want to live longer than I should. I'm reading this thing and I'm not sure. Scientists propose gene hacking to make cocaine less fun. All right. Yeah, why not? Someone apparently just hacked Elon Musk, Joe Biden, Jeff Bezos, and Kanye West. Someone appeared to hack the Twitter accounts of Elon Musk, Joe Biden, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Barack Obama, Kanye West, and a dizzying array of other celebrities, business, politicians, and public figures. They even somehow accessed the account of Apple, which has never tweeted before. The accounts are all posting similar message, which promise if you send Bitcoin to a certain address, they'll send double back. Read there. Happy Wednesday. This is one of them from Elon Musk. Happy Wednesday. I'm giving back Bitcoin to all the followers. I am doubling all payments sent to the Bitcoin address below. Send your 0.1 BTC. I send 0.2 BCT back. Oh my goodness. Sure, it seems like an obvious ruse, but people on the internet aren't particularly bright, and it looks like people have sent at least 100,000 to the address in the scam. You know, that's sort of that's impressive. I know it sucks for people who sent their money, but that is impressive. Mood altering euphoric beverages are the alcohol-free drinks we've been waiting for. Is that right? There's always been a lot of reasons to drink alcohol, and the event of 2020 have only added to the list. But one of the biggest reasons why people drink is to enhance their sense of social connection with others. For many people, the benefits alone is worse than negative side effects associated with drinking, like hangovers and the loss of control. But over time, it can also seem as if alcohol is providing a diminishing returns, obviously. So if you are looking you've been looking for an alternative, Kin special brand of euphoric beverages are alcohol-free drinks that might be just what you're looking that might be just what you need to fill the gap. Kin. It's a weird picture. Euphoric beverage of alcohol-free drinks that are chemically engineered to give you the variety of euphoric sensation as well as increasing your conscious connection with others. This is done by the way of natural herbs known as adaptogens that let the user better manage stress, compounds called nootropics that boost cognitive, and other plant-based ingredients called botanics that handle flavor, function, nutrition. Altogether, these adaptogen, nootropics, and botanics give it Kin a euphoric beverage which comes in 3 different varieties, which you can find on kinkin.com. So, off and away. Buy it and send me your review on email at jamessalazarmedia@gmail.com. And what else? Yeah. Let me see. Let me read these really quick titles. The Fight COVID, Japanese theme park forbids screaming on roller coasters. Okay. Watch a tech CEO meltdown in a racist rant. Hong Kong is already being censored by China's Great Firewall. Shit is happening. U.S. bans TikTok from Trump administration. U.S. may ban TikTok, Trump administration says. Yeah, well, I just know that wastes my daughter's life. So I'm for it. Why not? No, I'm not. I don't want no government telling me what I can and cannot do, no matter how detrimental. Stay out of my pocket. Stay out of my mind. I'll do what I want. I will do what I want. Hey. You watch yourself right there. I don't care. I do not care. Oh, no, we're not the end yet. Shoot. Mini Neptune exoplanet may actually be covered in radioactive oceans. Well, don't swim in there. Not cool. What are you going to do? Let's see what we got in health and medicine. A bunny Ebola epidemic is sweeping through the United States of America. Pet owners of wildlife conservatives alike are terrified of a deadly, highly contagious disease spreading among the rabbit population of the United States of America. Rabbit hemorrhagic disease, which is picked up the moniker Bunny Ebola, has been around for decades, but now it's hitting the U.S. hard, with rabbits' deaths reporting in New York, Washington, and now several states in the Southwest. It's devastating both domestic and wildlife and sometimes endangered rabbit population. Susan Kerr, the education and outreach specialist in Washington State Department of Agriculture, told Popular Science that the disease is highly infectious and the mortality rates both represent a long fear that has come true. Rabbit enthusiasts have always been terrified of this disease. To be absolutely clear, the disease, despite its nickname, is unrelated to Ebola and it can't affect humans. The name comes from how similar the two diseases' symptoms are. Infected rabbits have lower chances of survival of severe inflammation, bleeding, organ failure. The rabbit's hemorrhagic disease causes. That sucks. Poor bunnies. They got the Ebola. They got the E. coli twist. It is, or maybe the devil is cursing rabbits. Probably not. That sucks. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how there can be sure it can't jump species. And if that's the case, then, you know, if Ebola comes from rabbits and it jumps species, and we're pretty screwed because hemorrhagic fever in humans is disastrous. It kills within 2 days. This app claims to hear COVID-19 in your voice. Screw you. As some companies reopen their offices and plants, some workers may find themselves asked to partake in a strange new monitoring ritual. Answers a few questions about your health and then their temperature and say into their phone. After a few seconds, the app called Sonda 1 will make a snap decision if their temperature is too high or they sound sick. It will tell them that to stay home with a warning, and there is a good chance they caught COVID-19. Oh, okay. They can hear it in my voice. That's what you do. You know, when you go into a concert, when the singer gets onto the concert, you just put it up and see if you can hear it in his voice. The same company 3D printing KFC meat nuggets is printing human tissue in space. It's been a wild week for Russians startup 3D bioprinting solutions. First, the company announced a partnership with the fast food chain KFC as a part of an effort to create the world's first laboratory-produced chicken nuggets. Now, the same company is ready to announce that it has been working on bringing similar tech into the orbit as well. It is an experiment on board the International Space Station that took place in 2018, but it's only been published. Russian cosmonaut Oleg Kononoenko was tasked to 3D print human cartilage cells in a near-zero gravity using a machine called the bioprinter organ unit. A machine assembled by, you guessed it, 3D bioprinting solutions. So they're in it, man. These guys are on it. If somebody gets burned, something gets ripped off them, they can print new tissue on top of them. And that's the biggest thing. What gets people killed is it's the infection and bacteria that cultivates in the wounds. You know, it's a big problem. And what if you can just slap on new skin right on top of it? You know? And if a cosmonaut is brave enough or an astronaut is brave enough, they should just cut a little piece of their skin off, maybe about inch around, and replace it with a fake with the 3D printed skin and see if it takes. You know? We can use it on Earth too. This sounds like great news. This is what we're looking for. This will extend our life. My friends. Still really sad about that bunny Ebola. Bunny Ebola. And here we go. SpaceX to attempt first full-scale Starship test flight this week. A full-scale SpaceX Starship prototype is about to finally make its first ever attempt to get off the ground. When asked on the update of the company's SN5 Starship prototype, the fifth of its kind, SpaceX CEO Elon Musk, it will attempt to fly later this week. The massive SN5 prototype is expected to hop to just 150 meters, which is almost 500 feet, according to the road closures filings released earlier this month. So this is going to jump. This is going to go 100. It's going to go 500 feet in the air and then come back down, I assume. So that should be awesome. Really excited to see that happen. To infinity and beyond, folks. So, I'm going to stop there. Thank you for listening. It's been a while. I'm trying to figure out this new equipment. I'm going to go back and hear this and see what bad mic technique I've used on my new mic, and whether all the sound prompts are good, and the tonage, it sounds very tonally nice. You know what I'm talking about. All you audio files. It's been a month since I did this, and I'm doing it at night, and I'm trying to be quiet, so I'm not as animated I would like to be, but I needed to get something out because it's been a month, and I had a lot to say, and I wanted to go over some futuristic news. I know we're in a holding pattern right now, and as soon as we gotta wait till COVID really goes away before we can truly start inventing and start creating new vaccines and new materials and going where no man has gone before into space. All these things need to come back, but we need to get through this COVID situation right now. And I know people some people are just like, I don't believe in this. Other people, it's safe to be sorry. And just social distance. Just wear the mask to ease other people if you don't believe it yourself. And I understand it's hard. But, as long as you don't have to wear it at the dinner table, and hopefully they'll bring back some other restaurants. And you know what I feel about this new shutdown? They're trying to blame entrepreneurs when it was clearly the protesters who have every right to protest. Police brutality. Of course, it is your right to assembly for whatever reason. Right to assembly to protest police abuse, and your right to assembly in a restaurant and enjoy yourself amongst your friends. Both are your right, and not one is more important than the other, but it is important that we maintain both. Because you can't, my friends, say one's more important than the other, because you will undermine your own. It can't be subjective. Our rights, that is flawed. They cannot be subjective. They are rights, and we should hold on to them and defend everybody else's right. Even if you disagree politically, we should all agree that freedom of speech and the right to assembly should be maintained. And I know everybody don't believe in all the rights, and we'll have those discussions, especially in this election year. So, what?
Citizens of the earth, you will be destroyed.
I like my new toy. I'm gonna let you listen to this ridiculous laugh.
Oi, 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 oi.
That was fun. So, hey, if you want to follow me on Instagram, on the Twitter, on the Facebook, on the YouTube, and the Pinterest, just type in James Salazar Media. I should come up. So, my friends, and if anything that you want to comment or disagree with me on, put it in a email at jamessalazarmedia@gmail.com and hit me with your best shot. Okay? Okay. And when the storm of life come against you and you find yourself on your knees, stand tall. Take a look at that storm and say what my sensei Jack Burton always says. Give me your best shot. Strike the music.